In this video we're going to see how to develop your website, what you need to do for the on-page factors. Now what we're looking at here is one of my websites, and in the video called The Perfect Site I go into more depth, but what we need to do here is to look at the few basic things that you need to do. For this site I'm targeting a couple of terms. One is GI diet. As you can see on here, so GI diet is one term, Atkins diet is another term, and Cambridge diet is my third term. So it's best to keep it at just 3 terms if you can. And the few basic things we need to do is the title, which you can see up here, is a title that comes up on the search engines when you search for these particular terms. This here is an H1 tag, and this is my introductory text, and then this is an H2 tag, and this is the structure you should have. So put your terms in the title here, and we'll look at the code in a moment, but the title goes here. The header really should be the same as the title, because you're saying that this page is called this, and then it would be odd to have a different title on your page, because effectively it's the same thing. So you have those the same, some introductory text here. I've got my navigation on the left hand side, but the best place to put it is over here on the right if you can. I know most websites have their navigation down here, or even there's navigation at the top here going across. But the way the search engines work, as we've seen, is they go top to bottom, left to right. So you need to get your text first here, and then get it here before you have all your navigation. So just to show you how this works, what I'm going to do is to go into msn.co.uk and just search for GI diet and just show you what comes up. So here is my site. So as you can see, there is the page header which comes up, so that's the click through, and then here's the description of the site. So these are important because, as we've seen, A, they come up in the search engines, and it has the term right at the beginning. So you need to get your main term at the front, and then sprinkle the others as you go through. So if we just go back to the site and then view the source, and you can do this on any site, so you can have a look to see what people have done in their own sites to get up to the top. So these are the 3 main things you need on your site. So you've got your title tag, put your main term here and other terms, we saw that come up in MSN. Your description is what most search engines will bring up as the first line, without a doubt. That's what comes up. Sometimes they use the description from the Open Directory project if your site's listed in there, but if it isn't, they will use this description. They're trying to find the text that most describes the search term and what's on your site. So this should be there. It shouldn't be something completely different, like please click here on my website, because it doesn't have any of your terms in there. And then these keywords, yes, put them in, but they're not so important. So those are the tags at the top that you need to put up. Then the first term is this H1 tag. Now what I haven't done is just add in one term. because if you put your term there, only your term there, only your term there, and in your first line of description, some search engines might say, oh, that's spamming, so I'm going to ignore that. So try and describe the page for a user, really, but not to make it too obvious what you're doing. So the way I've put this together is my title is here, my H1 tag is the same, which I believe is important. I would put them both the same. And then in my first line of description, okay, I've got bold and italic. Bold is fine on its own, but you're saying that these words are important, so bold them. And there's one of the terms I'm targeting. There's the other one. So put those as your header. Now, here is my navigation. And as I say, it's probably best to put that over to the right hand side so that the text that the search engines are looking for comes up first. So again, if we get back to the text, my H2 tag has one of the terms I'm targeting in there. Plans is searched for, so I've put that in there, but what I haven't done is just duplicate what I've got above, so I've got my term there. And then I'm describing the three terms and some more in this text. I'm also putting in variations of the word diet, so I've got diets, plural, which is important because in MSN and Yahoo they tend, on smaller sites, if you haven't got the plural, they won't bring your site up. So you need to have the plural, and there's another term in there. So put a couple of paragraphs here, sprinkle your terms around without putting them in too much. Here's another word. And then as we move down, I've got more terms. Here's the GI part again, and they're just sprinkled around. And then there's another H2 at the bottom to try and get these terms in. So as you can see on the actual site, it looks readable. I could probably put a bit more text in there, but as you've seen, it works. So that's on page. That's all you need to do for your on page. So one, get those tags correct. Put your terms in an H1 header here. Have some text describing the page. Then you're into your first H2 tag. Some more description with your terms sprinkled around within that. Have some more text with your terms within. Now split them up. I've split them up here, so I've got diet and GI separated, so put that in as well as the complete term. And then here is my final piece. And then I've finished the text, and this is important because the search engines are looking for, is the term at the top, is it within the body, and is it at the bottom? Because then that's going to say, oh, this page really is about that particular term. So I finished off my narrative with that term at the bottom. And really, apart from a link, I've got a link here as well with my term. That's all you need to do. So put those into your page and you've got a perfectly optimized page within that.